Hello guys, this is Abhishek and welcome to Book Ideas, where we tell you interesting ideas from interesting books. In today's idea, we will be learning about how to change people's mind. I'm going to be giving you tips on how to change people's mind from the book How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Amazing book on communication skills, amazing book on how to improve your social life. So if you're interested to get this book, then you can click the link in the description and get it. With that said, let's begin. So Win People to Your Way of Thinking is the name of the chapter in the book, and it has about 12 tips. In that, I am going to be giving you 5 tips that works very well for you. Okay, 5 amazing tips which will work. So make sure to watch till the end of the video because these are some really good tips. First tip: the best way to get out of an argument is to avoid it. So in the book, he tells this very interesting story. He was at a party, and at this party, this guy comes up and he quotes a line, very beautiful line, and he says it was from the Bible. Dale Carnegie, he knows that it's not from the Bible. He said no, he was very sure of it that it's not from the Bible. He said that it was from Shakespeare plays. The one who said the quote, he said no. The storyteller, he was called the storyteller. Storyteller said no, this is from the Bible, I'm very sure. And Dale Carnegie thought to himself, yeah, this guy is very sure of himself, but I know for sure that it is from Shakespeare. So there was a friend with him who was an expert in the Shakespeare plays, and he asks his friend, where is it from? Right? I think this is from Shakespeare, right? And he said, no, the man is right, the storyteller is right. It's from the Bible. He was confused, and after the party, he goes out and he asks his friend, hey, you know about Shakespeare plays, right? Why didn't you back me up? He said, look, Dale, you're right. And he also gives the act, the line, which it was from the Shakespeare plays, and he says, look, I know it's from Shakespeare plays, but think about this. We were guests to the party. Me supporting you would achieve nothing other than make the storyteller feel bad. And that's when he realized, argument is kind of a game where if you win, you lose. If you lose, you also lose. Maybe you win an argument and you feel victory, but the other person ends up feeling bad because that person is proven wrong, and none of us feel like we want to be proved wrong. So in that way, he said that the best way to avoid an argument, the best way to get out of an argument is to avoid it. There are certain times, certain situations in our life where you shouldn't. Now, how will this help you change someone's mind? When you're talking to someone, you should not treat off as in one-off event. Like you can say something to someone, but it might not be the only time you'll be talking to that person. Treat it as something that if that person saw you again, you would be on good terms to speak with each other again, and then you will be able to change their mind. So instead of giving them a defeat of feeling bad or losing to you, maybe agree with them or maybe avoid it. But don't really put your inputs as long as you are asked for it. With that said, that's the first step. Second tip: begin in a friendly way. Now this is a very powerful concept. In the story, some of the stories he shows on how starting on a good note will actually help you out. And you know what? There is psychological proof to it. In fact, here's the thing. Starting good will actually help you influence the other person. And here's how. Whatever you say first, what comes next, people will judge based on what you say first. Think of it like first impression. If you make a very good first impression, whatever comes later, people will judge you based on that first impression. And it's like a cognitive blind spot. It's something that avoids us. It's something that stops us from thinking clearly. Now, how do you use it? Let me give you an example. Okay. Priya is a very intelligent person, but she sometimes makes very foolish decisions. That's the first one. Second one, Priya sometimes makes foolish decisions, but she's intelligent. Which sounds better? Which Priya would you trust? the Priya who is intelligent but makes the mistake, right? It always sounds better. Ask anybody, they will tell you the first Priya, or ask them similar questions like this and they will tell you the one where you put the good thing or the strength in the beginning and then you followed it up with a weakness. Weakness doesn't seem as weak as before. It's like this. When you start with good news, the bad doesn't seem so bad. When you start with the bad news, the good does not seem so good. Third tip, get the other person saying yes, 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 yes immediately. He mentions about how Socrates, a philosopher, got his way, how he convinced people of his ideas. Socrates did not go around telling people you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. But he did something different. He put out his argument and then he started asking the other people certain well-crafted questions which got the people to say yes. So when people say yes, when they come to the conclusion by themselves, they are more likely to agree with you. The second reason why it works is, think of getting yeses as rolling a ball. If I roll the ball forward, if the ball is moving towards you, it's more likely to move towards you. It won't just come back as long as you hit it back. So similarly, getting people to say yes, 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 yes constantly will be like a ball rolling in a certain direction. And if ball is moving in a certain direction, unless something goes against it, it continues to move. It builds a pattern. If I say yes 3-4 times, I'm more likely going to say yes 5th or the 6th time. It builds a pattern. So in that way it works. So when you come and ask questions, that gets people saying yes, 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 yes. Fourth tip, get the other person to think that the idea is his or hers. You know what? We all like to find a good idea. We all like to find it. But you know what we like even more? We like our idea to be good. Right? And if you see a lot of times, if you see a lot of conflicts, issues and all that on news between companies or countries, think about this. It kind of rises from people wanting to make their idea right instead of finding the right idea. That's how many arguments does not work out. Because most people want to prove that their idea is right, or they want to stand with their idea. And he says, this is what you can do. If you can get the other person in front of you feeling like the idea that you want to put forward is theirs, they are more likely to take it. He gives an example. If you don't get it, this example will clear it up. So this company, sales was not going well. It wasn't going well, and this CEO was frustrated. So he walks into the office, he gets all the salespeople, calls for a meeting, and he says, what do you guys expect from me? What values, what ethics do you want from me? What do you want from me? And they started telling, maybe be disciplined, hear a feedback, and a lot of things. They gave him a lot of feedback on what they expect from him. And he sat there, he said, okay, now that's done. Tell me what I should expect from you. And people started telling, yeah, you should expect people to work more. You should expect people to be more passionate towards their work. You need to expect people, you need to expect us to be more focused in our work. And all of a sudden, instead of him telling you should be focused, you should work more, you should work harder, they were telling you should expect us to work harder. You should expect us to work longer. And guess what happened? That company's sales grew very rapidly and very well. So try to get people to think that whatever idea you're putting forward is theirs, and they will vouch for it, and they will try to protect it, and they'll try to stand true to that idea. Fifth tip, throw down a challenge. This is a very interesting tip. So in one of the companies, once again company, because he has worked with this company, he gives this example where people there, employees there were not working. They had to produce some machinery or something. They had to produce certain units and they weren't doing it, or they weren't doing it well enough. So the boss comes and speaks to the manager, hey, what's going on? Why aren't they doing it? And the manager was very frustrated and he says, you know what, I've tried everything. It just doesn't work. I've tried threatening them, I've tried motivating them, I tried maybe pitching in more money or whatever it is, but nothing is working. So he comes up with a very, very genius plan. He walks to the floor and he puts a number 7. And then he leaves. And people started wondering, when people came the next day, they started wondering, what's that? What's going on? And he mentioned that 7 was the number of units produced by the morning shift people. So night shift were like, okay, let's produce more. And he came at night, and night people produced more, and he put the number 8. So when morning shift people came, they saw this and they're like, how is night shift doing better than us? Let's do even better. And then it came 11, 12, and they started producing more and more and more and more. It became a very healthy competition. And guess what? The sales of the company grew, the production of the company grew. It did very well. It did better than they thought it would. So, how can you use this? So, if you have a couple of teammates and you want to motivate them to do something, right, to get them to do better, try to set up a competition environment where they want to compete with each other. And it shouldn't be self-sabotaging, or it shouldn't be sabotaging. Like, it shouldn't be like, if you're trying to build a building, I should try to build a building quicker than you, a better building than you. Okay, I have to put effort on improving my building. I should not put my effort into destroying your building so that my building will stand. So don't make it destructible kind of a thing. Keep it a healthy competition. Try to add competition into people. And this is exactly why in school groups and project works. If you remove school groups from schools and colleges, or college groups in colleges, whatever little they're doing, work or exercise or some sort of a project, even that most people won't do. So with that said, guys, these are 5 tips. Use it. These are the ones that stood out uniquely. If you want more, you can check out the book. The link is in the description. You can go get the book. Great book. I highly recommend it. With that said, thank you so much for watching. This is Abhishek signing off, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.